Welcome to the UK's largest zoo. This is ZSL Whipsnade, and today we're going to be touring the bird collection. I'm fortunate enough to have been granted VIP access to the off-show area of the bird keeping. So this is the avicultural setups. This is where some of the rarest, most endangered bird species are kept. So we're going to take a look around here, show you the species that call this place home. As part of the Zoological Society of London and one of Europe's largest wildlife conservation parks, Whipsnade plays a key role in protecting species from around the world. When it comes to birds, that mission really takes flight in some truly incredible ways. To find out more about the work behind the scenes and the stories behind the species, I caught up with someone who helps make it all happen.
Hi there, so my name's Gary Ward and I'm the Curator of Birds here at the Zoological Society of London, and we're here today at Whipsnade Zoo in our off-show bird breeding facility, and we're really pleased to have Oliver here coming to check out what we're doing here at ZSL. So we have an amazing sort of a group of species here at Whipsnade Zoo which we keep off-show because we're conservation breeding here. Species such as our Malay crestless firebacks or our Draven green magpies, which we have in these aviaries here. We keep various hornbill species such as Visayan hornbills and wrinkled hornbills. So a lot of the species have EEPs or European ex situ breeding programs for threatened species, which is coordinated through zoos throughout Europe within the European Association of Zoos and Aquariums. I'm most excited this year, I think, with the success with our wrinkled hornbills. It took us 2 years to get that pair together. They're an endangered species, and just a couple of days ago we could hear chicks in the nest, so we know that the chicks have hatched. Still, they've got to rear them. It's early days, but we're very excited to have got to this stage. Hornbills have a really unique sort of breeding strategy and really relying on strong pair bonding. So what happens is they're cavity nesters. They go into the cavities, and here in our zoos we often give them nest boxes, quite large parrot nest boxes if you like, and then the females go into that nest and then they seal themselves in. So using regurgitated food and feces, they actually mud up the nest so that it's only a very small gap that the birds can put their bills through, and that's a defense mechanism to stop the nest being predated by primates or snakes or monitor lizards in the wild. And then the female locks herself into that nest and is then completely reliant on the male to feed her and then feed her and the chicks when they hatch and raise the chicks. So the male has a really busy responsibility going out, finding the food, bringing it back to the female, who's confined in the nest for the entire time until maybe just a week before the chicks are fledged, depending on the species. Some of them fledge together. She'll then break out of the nest, during which time she's molted as well, right? She's been in the nest. Then they'll break out of the nest, and the chicks might stand there for a few days longer. Then the male and female will feed the chicks, and then the chicks will leave. So, so if the male dies, the female could starve in the nest, or she may break out of the nest and then abandon the nest, and chicks and eggs that may be in there.
Brilliant.
So one of my sort of favourite species at the moment, basically because this is one of the rarest species in Asia, and we managed to acquire two males from a reputable private breeder from the World Pheasant Association, and we're waiting now to source some females to pair with those birds. We work with another species, the Vietnam pheasant, which is critically endangered, possibly extinct, but there's quite a large ex situ population of Vietnam pheasants, whereas the Malay crestless firebacks doesn't have a large ex situ safety net population. So that's something that we were looking to help contribute to and establish that, stud book and work with that stud book to build up, the managed ex situ population of Malay crestless firebacks, because they will be probably extinct in our lifetime, unfortunately. So we have an opportunity to sort of save the species from outright extinction by maintaining. Another species that we're really concentrating on is the extinct and wild Sakoro dove. So we do have a pair here at Whipsnade Zoo. For the first time we've kept the species at Whipsnade, but for many years we've bred with the species at London Zoo, which is also our second Zoological Society of London Zoo. We've been working with Sakoro doves, since the studbook was first established in 1995. The species became extinct in the wild in the mid-1970s. Currently in the world at the moment, this is in Europe and in North America, there is roughly 190 Sakoro doves, but there's double the amount of males in the population than there is females. And the other sort of, challenges that we have is that when females reach 5 years, their fecundancy, their breeding potential drops off markedly. So any females over 5 years potentially is no longer going to be a breeder. But you still have those. So when I say there's 190, there's probably not very many that are actually viable breeders in that population. So we're working very closely with partners in Mexico and around the world, various different zoos that are working with the species to ensure that we've got a viable, sustainable ex situ population, which is strong enough to produce birds that we can remove from that population and release into the wild. At the same time, trying to ensure that we maintain a viable ex situ population as well. And of course, the ultimate goal is to get them back out into the wild. So we're working very carefully and closely with Mexican colleagues. And one of the main partners is the Mexican Navy, because the island of Sakoro, where the birds come from and we're endemic to, is a naval base. And so you have to have Mexican Navy permission to even land on the island. And they're fantastic partners and very supportive. So we're working closely with them. And we're hoping, within the next few years to get birds into aviaries on Sakoro Island as a first step to actually starting to see birds released onto Sakoro Island.
Alongside the many bird exhibits, Whipsnade also gives regular free flight displays and educational talks about numerous species housed at the zoo. This show includes various macaws, toracos, hornbills and birds of prey. It's a magnificent sight and something definitely worth attending whilst you're at the zoo. Joining me here is a pair of Maribou stalks. Now these are weird looking things. They stand just over 1.5 meters tall. They're found throughout Africa, and what they eat is the carcasses of dead things. So they actually really help in the food chain by stopping a lot of other animals eating the rotting carcasses of things that might give them diseases. So it's these stalks that you can see are showing off lovely for the camera right now that actually control all of this. But yeah, very, very weird things, but amazing to see them here at ZSL Whipsnade. So that does bring us to the end of a fantastic day here at ZSL Whipsnade. A huge thank you to the zoo firstly for having me. A massive thanks to Gary Ward for kindly giving me a really big tour around all of the bird collections, and of course giving us a fantastic and very informative interview. A big thanks to the team who do the Birds of the World presentation as well. It was fantastic to see so many different species free flying, and thank you to everybody for watching. So if you have enjoyed it today and you'd like to see more from OC Avery, please make sure to subscribe down below, smash a like on this video, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook and TikTok for daily updates and behind the scenes footage of all of these sorts of trips and my own personal collection of birds. So thank you very much for watching once again. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.